friends. This is 𝗘𝘆𝗯𝗲𝗿. I am a technical writer at the Cyber Express, and we have with us Miss Lynn Dohm, who has been working with women in cybersecurity, and she's shouldered the responsibility of encouraging women into cybersecurity. I cannot wait to begin asking my questions. Hi, Lynn. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me here with you this morning.
The pleasure is all mine. I'll ask my first question. This is particularly about WiCyS, Women in Cybersecurity. Can you share the WiCyS initiative in bridging the gap and decreasing gender disparity? What is the idea behind what WiCyS stands for, Women in Cybersecurity stands for? How has the organization been instrumental in forwarding women in this field, and how is it going so far, as you've noticed?
Oh, that's a lot of questions right there. So I think it would be helpful if I peel it back just a layer and go to the history of the WiCyS organization and where we're at right now. And it really will give a lot of depth of where we're heading towards, and the difference that we're making in the workforce. But WiCyS started, and we refer to ourselves often by our acronym WiCyS, and we pronounce it WiCyS, like we sisters, because we're a global cyber sisterhood. But we started back in 2014. Dr. 𝗟𝘆𝗯𝗲𝗿𝗃𝗀 is our founder, and she's at Tennessee Tech University at that time. And she reached out to the National Science Foundation for some seed funding to start the first ever Women in Cybersecurity conference. The reason why was because way back when she was a student studying and loving cybersecurity, she was the only female in the classroom, or one of very few. And then when she got her PhD and now is a professor at Tennessee Tech University, she's still one of very few other females in her classroom. The ratio didn't change at all for her. And so at that time, around that 2012 to 2014 range, there was some statistics that she was teaching to her class, and that was, there's 1 million unfilled jobs in the cyber workforce globally. There's nothing but pay growth opportunity and job opportunities in the cyber workforce. And a little known statistic came out that women represented 11% of the cybersecurity workforce. Well, at that time, she wasn't seeing it in any of her circles, not in government, academia, industry. So her thoughts were, if women in cybersecurity exist, let's bring them together all in one location at a technical conference to learn more about cybersecurity. And so that's how WiCyS started, was this thought of, let's just gather everyone together at a technical conference. So 350 women showed the first year, 550 came the next year. From there, it grew to like 880, 990, 1100, and you fast forward to the 2022 conference that we held in Cleveland, Ohio, and we reached full capacity of 1,700 attendees in less than a day of opening up registration.
Awesome.
So we are this flagship conference for women in cybersecurity. We remain a significantly large women in cybersecurity conference. But what's unique about the WiCyS conference is, regardless of gender, we're the only cybersecurity conference that ensures equal representation of aspiring professionals and industry professionals. So how we do that is, for every regular registrant, WiCyS issues out a female cybersecurity scholarship to those, whether it's veterans, students, faculty, or we have equity and advancement for individuals that might be under financial distress or a part of an underrepresented population and group, historically marginalized. All those are coming to the WiCyS conference. So as the industry professionals are coming to the conference for their professional development and for their advancement opportunities, we're paying it forward by bringing in the next generation into the pipeline. And so truly, our mission is to recruit, retain, and advance women in cybersecurity, and progress will only be made when we retain our talent, our female talent, we provide them advancement opportunities, and we bring more folks right into that pipeline. So that's the conference, and it's wonderful. And in 2018, we realized gee, we have a wait list that's over 1,000 every time to come to the conference. The community needs so much more. And that's where the nonprofit came into existence. So we started the conference in 2014. We grew into a nonprofit in 2018, and we still have the same mission: recruit, retain, and advance women. But now we're this global organization. We have over 6,300 members, representation in over 70 countries. We have 52 professional affiliates. They're mini WiCyS organizations, and they're all throughout Africa, Australia, Canada, France, India, Pakistan, the UK, and throughout the United States. Oh, we just launched WiCyS Norway. That's an announcement. I don't even think they've received their announcement yet that we approved. So, and then we have these specialty affiliates like artificial intelligence, critical infrastructure, cloud security, data privacy, cybersecurity law. We have LGBTQ+ pride, colors of inclusion, neurodiversity, military. So you get the idea. Wherever there's this community, we form around it and provide advancement opportunities from it. And then on top of all of that, we have 214 student chapters. So that's just our community, and we provide a lot of opportunities through the organization. So
awesome. This is incredible. It is, even in words, it's too much information. And when in practice, I wonder what kind of impact it really makes in the world. So it's really amazing. My second question is, what are your thoughts about when students should be taught coding in schools? What is, the right age or the right grade for them to be, drawn towards cybersecurity? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, cybersecurity in general needs to be taught to everyone at every age. It should be just part of infused of what we do in our life. We're taught at a very young age how to be physically secure. Watch how you're walking across the street. Make sure you're not running away from your parents. There's all these different, but now we're in this online world, and cyber needs to be taught and infused and just a part of every culture, every conversation possible. So there's lots of great organizations that are doing infusing and bringing more girls at a younger age into coding, and that's fantastic. So the sooner we could start educating about cybersecurity, the more secure we're going to be protecting ourselves, our families, our assets, and of course the organizations that we love and the companies that we work for. So there's never too young of an age. It's always sparking that interest. And a lot of what WiCyS does is, it's hard to be what you cannot see. And women right now represent globally between 20 to 24% of the cybersecurity workforce. So it's very important for those industry professionals that are there that they put themselves out there with opportunities and share their experiences to continue to pave the pathway for more excitement in the workforce, for more excitement for women to aspire to be these professionals. So a lot of what we do also includes media and speaking engagements. We have a speakers bureau, and we have a mentor-mentee program. So we're continuing to educate folks in that. Our organization really focuses on high school and then the college and then beyond. We partner with other organizations that really bring that K-12 element in there, and we really appreciate the great work that they're doing, because we couldn't continue to make progress without it.
Well, then the question remains, should students be taught coding, say maybe when they are learning about environmental science, or when they are learning equations in math, algebra? Should it be included there then?
Well, I think we would all love to see that. I also think that the faculty and teachers, that their bandwidth is very, it's a very hard shift and a very hard change, but the conversation is being had in the educational system. It's just a matter of when that will come to life. I know that there's many great organizations that are really pushing that, and it will be interesting to see as time passes what comes to that.
Fingers crossed it will be done soon.
Yes. Fingers crossed.
Do you think we have enough role models in cybersecurity? Do you have any role models yourselves whom you have watched and you have been inspired by? Do you think we have a balance? Of course, we cannot have a balance when anyways the percentage is so low. But do you think we have some role models that women can look up to, and then those women will drive them to join cybersecurity? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, for me, in the area that I work with, there's an incredible amount of role models. I think in the United States, Director Jen Easterly, being the director of CISA, has been a significant impact and inspiration for so many women. And she's doing something very unique. She's showing up as her authentic self. She's being completely transparent in the cybersecurity workforce, and she's meeting her community where her community is at. And that's really important. Those type of conversations, just very genuine. I haven't seen that prior to Director Easterly going into her position. We had Director Easterly at the past WiCyS conference do a keynote. And after that, guess what that amazing woman did? Was walk around our career exhibitor area and spent the whole entire day with everyone at the WiCyS org.
Wow.
Outstanding, because she devotes her time and attention and the commitment that she's making for us, and that is aspiring to 50% of women in the cybersecurity workforce by 2030. So she's made a great impact. For us in the WiCyS organization, of course, our founder, Dr. 𝗪𝘆𝗯𝗲𝗿𝗀𝗃𝗏, has the biggest heart of gold. She's here truly for the mission, and she wears that in each and everything that she does. Back when she was at Tennessee Tech University, being a faculty, she really, those students just really admired her, and you could see the impact that she was making with everyone that she came into contact to. Our chair of the board, Dr. Janelle Strzok at Rice University, also is making such a significant impact in the workforce, going out there keynoting aspiring students to get into cybersecurity programs. And then we have those at at Cisco, at Optum, at so many different, at Microsoft, Google. They're really putting themselves out there and making a strong impact by doing these multi-organization training programs and partnering with WiCyS. And so we see them a lot during our webinars. They really put themselves out there, and I think that's, we need everyone, all hands on deck to just share their cybersecurity story. And each and every story, whether it's a student, an industry professional, or an executive, is resonating with someone and really, pulling it all together.
Amazing. I love that answer. My next question is, what do you think are the challenges that some women face when they enter cybersecurity? Like, for instance, accessing the dark web. Like, mostly these things might be done by men. What do you think are the challenges women must be either prepared for before joining cybersecurity?
Well, there are challenges. I mean, that's why our mission is to recruit, retain, and advance women in cybersecurity. We could recruit all we want. We do that very successfully. And so do many other organizations, and many companies recruit women very well. The issue really comes into play with that retention piece. And when you cultivate a culture of inclusion, diversity will expand. But inclusion is a much harder metric because you can't measure it. So a lot of efforts are focused on the diversity because it's a data point. You can measure it and you can feel good about yourself. You can put in an initiative, and the next year you'll measure it again. And if it grows, you're like, congratulations, you pat yourself on the back. But retention is much harder, because it's a feeling, because it's inclusion. How are you included within your space and valued and respected? And the inclusion is more of a feeling, but it's only felt when you're excluded. So it's not a data point, it's not a metric you can measure, but we're focusing our energies on really educating on this inclusive spaces that are needed in order for us to shift away. Because when we don't have that, women have challenges in the workforce. They're going into a predominantly male industry. And there's a certain culture there that might in some instances not be so inclusive. And so therefore women are stepping out of their roles because of maybe perhaps microaggressions or not enough advancement opportunities or being passed up for many different advancement opportunities. You know, there is this groupthink mindset when you don't have the diversity of thought. And what we're trying to bring more educational opportunities to is just elevating everyone's knowledge of the power of diversity of thought. You know, cybersecurity is an industry where we're being brought forth with challenges that have never previously existed before. Mm-hmm. We have all like-minded individuals looking at the same challenges. It could be not necessarily in the most ideal situation. You need all genders, identities, ethnicities, cultures, experiences, races, backgrounds, and more. You need everyone there to look at it from this multi-dimensional state to be able to come up with solutions in a quicker, more steadily rate.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so that's where, you know, really where our mission really lies. There's a lot of work to be done. We're seeing progress, but there's so much more work to be doing.
With you know, such strong women like you in this field, and WiCyS, the organization, I'm sure there's a lot of progress that can be made.
Yeah, we're all working on it. Strength with numbers, right? We're a very strong community, and together we continue as one. We often say, like, as one woman rises, we reach our hand out and bring another woman with us. So we continue to keep that strength and that mission going strong.
Yes, we'll get there someday.
That's right.
Okay, so we are running short of time. I would like to ask you one quick question. Do you think women, you know, since the way they are groomed and based on different cultures that women come from, do you think women can balance, you know, work and family after entering cybersecurity? Do you think are they groomed in decision making while working in this field? How do you think women approach cybersecurity differently from men or other genders, if at all they do?
Well, I believe that that every gender has their different unique abilities, and with women, it's this you know, what cybersecurity is problem solving. It's being curious. It's going down the rabbit hole, and it's not being afraid to explore, you know, what's next with discovering in the workforce. And so women bring, I mean, everyone really has their unique abilities. The strength really comes from this multitasking, troubleshooting, problem solving, curiosity. And when it comes to women in the workforce, of course, work-life balance, it's a challenge for all genders. And it's being able to find that balance. I think a lot of men have stepped into the space of equality even in the home, and so that's really something that has to be worked out. I know I certainly have been able to make a great balance of it all, and so has my husband. We chose to partner in a different way that maybe other couples don't necessarily partner in, but we certainly share all the responsibilities within our household, and that's how we raised our family. And we're seeing our children being these young adults that they are, with the same type of values that we've just kind of always had. So, but yes, I think it's amazing. The cybersecurity workforce is incredible. Women need to be in this space and working in this thriving, very hyper-focused, exciting industry, and to be able to advance in their careers because of it, and be paid for what their worth is, and not have this pay disparity that sometimes is seen out there. So
hopefully that will also be, you know, balanced out. Okay, so we have reached the time threshold. So if would you be comfortable answering another question, or should we stop?
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. Whatever you have time for.
Okay, I have all the time talking to you. Okay, so my next question is, how can companies, you have already mentioned this a little bit in your previous answers, how can companies and governments work together to encourage more women in this field, companies and governments?
Yeah, we're seeing a difference from what we've seen in the past. The past 3 years, the pandemic, the shift in mindset, going virtual in a lot of instances. For us as a nonprofit, what we're seeing is that our partners are not only putting a lot of energy into the cybersecurity workforce, but they're also approaching it as a multi-organization. And they're collaborating with one another to even make a broader impact. So our security training scholarship was originally made possible by Google in 2020. It was a great success. And so in 2021, Meta and Bloomberg partnered with Google, and we were able to expand that offering. In 2022, yes, I had to think. My brain is always on 2023, thinking about the next year. In 2022, we had the great honor of Craig Newmark Philanthropies to be able to join forces with that. So now we're able to open up this tiered program to 900 recipients originally in Tier 1, and then we narrowed it down to 500 going to Tier 2, maybe 250 going to Tier 3, and then Tier 4 and 5, we're able to provide advanced certifications in job placement for 60 individuals. So each and every year we broaden our impact. And really right now, what's needed is more companies that are making a commitment to the workforce to really look into these type of programs that are making a commitment. We're placing women and finding that hidden talent, the biology majors, the non-traditional career changers, those that are in IT role wanting to shift into cyber. We're providing them this entry point, advanced certifications, mentoring, coaching every step of the way, and then we're placing them in their careers within a year and a half. Definitely within a year of them completing their certifications. So we're making a difference in the workforce. We're also changing lives. We're taking women that are physical therapists, or one of my favorite stories comes from someone that's gone through our veteran apprenticeship program, and she used to work on cadavers, and she was not happy in her life, and she was able to go through our veteran apprenticeship program and get placed in an apprenticeship with Bloomberg, and they are hiring her. She moved her family as a single mom to New York. We're changing lives because of the impact that we're making. So what we need is the government to partner with more industry, to partner with more nonprofits like the WiCyS organization, to broaden the scope and the impact, and not only sustain but scale the programs that are changing lives. So that's it. That's what we keep on letting people know. Join us, partner with us. Let's do more. Let's do more together.
Yes, definitely. It's going in the right direction.
Yes.
Okay. There is this research that over 3 million vacant positions are still there in this field of cybersecurity, and out of women have occupied merely 24% so far. So you already mentioned how WiCyS Women in Cybersecurity is working towards bringing women. Can you mention some of the projects that that women who might watch this interview, they might have their own apprehensions about how they can join. So some insights for them about whom to approach, how to get into it, what is the minimum education or work experience they might need to join cybersecurity.
So if anyone is watching this and they're curious about cybersecurity, what I encourage them to do is just dive right in. Join WiCyS as a member or subscribe to our newsletter. Just start getting familiar with the conversation and the offerings available to you. Because we're, as a nonprofit, we're funded to create opportunities and welcome individuals in constantly through many different avenues. So we're not only here for the advancement of the industry professionals, but we're here for those that are exploring cybersecurity. So an entry point for one individual might be to, hey, let's apply for a scholarship to come to the WiCyS conference.
Right.
And right now we have late scholarship applications available on our website. And that might be for someone, and in that application, they have an essay portion and they could say, I might be interested in cybersecurity. Our job is to bring you to the WiCyS conference and let cybersecurity speak for itself. And let you have that opportunity to navigate through that conference experience and become a part of community and know that there is a solid foundation in a network, and we're here for you for that. So that might be one way. Right soon we're going to be opening up, I think today or tomorrow, we're opening up 𝗖𝘆𝗯𝗲𝗃𝗍 certified in cybersecurity certification. And that's in partnership. Yes. And we're putting it in a cohort. Because even though that certification is open and available publicly, a lot of times there is that apprehension of exploring it on your own. I mean, that's sometimes no fun. That's sometimes, where's your community? Where's your camaraderie? Where's your, oh my God, this is hard, but I'm super excited to make progress in it. Where's the people championing you? I mean, everything that we do is that. We also have our mentor-mentee program that's opening up in February. So we designed and developed a curriculum to upskill and up-level women, no matter where they're at, preparing them for their next level of advancement. And what that curriculum does is it helps deepen the mentor-mentee relationship. It helps you dive into the grit of the conversation that you need to have faster. It develops trust faster in your relationship and in this mentoring cohort. It helps grow your community, expand your network, because we do it in a cohort strategically so that as every woman is elevating their career, those individuals are all expanding their network. And the curriculum is phenomenal. We launched that in 2020. We had 700 mentees and 150 mentors. And then in 2022, we had 850 mentees, 250 mentors. I'm a mentor in the program every year. I love my mentees, absolutely love them. We're the best of friends, each cohort. Now we're in small little communities together. It's amazing. I couldn't imagine my life without my cohort in it. It's amazing. So all that opens up in February. So I encourage anyone that's listening to this around the world to subscribe to the WiCyS newsletter, to become a member, to just dive in whatever might be of interest to you. Just like navigating through your cybersecurity career, it requires a lot of navigation. Diving into your cybersecurity career requires a lot of navigation too. So.
Wow. I hope that happens. All the women, all the girls who are aspiring to be in this field, find Women in Cybersecurity, find your website and get in touch with you. And especially you, because you're so amicable and you're so jolly. I love talking to you. All my questions are answered. I hope to talk to you again sometime.
Absolutely. And thank you for taking the time and for taking the commitment for Cyber Express to be able to elevate the voices of underrepresented populations within the cybersecurity workforce. It's because of you and the good work that you're doing that we're able to make progress. So I appreciate this. I really enjoyed the conversation today.
Me too. I totally enjoyed it. And I hope to someday talk with you again.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much.